I'm Carrie Miletto, and this is Office Spaces. I'm overseeing a major television studio renovation without ever calling cut. Construction is in full swing. The creatives are still hard at work, and the show must go on. So it's my job to keep everyone and everything running smoothly and on time. I might be in over my head, but with the right tools and these guys, it's going to be an interesting ride. Welcome back to Office Spaces. I'm Carrie Miletto. Now that I've stepped in as the new project manager,
Congratulations.
there's no time to waste. So I'm meeting with the construction team to get caught up.
So come on in here and let me introduce you to Ryan Russ. How you guys doing?
Hey, how's it going?
This is Carrie. Carrie is the project manager that's filling in for Kaylin while she's out on maternity leave.
Okay.
So Ryan and Russ handle the construction management. They're great guys. If you run into any snags, these are the men you want to go see.
Great.
Okay?
All right.
Good. Good luck with the project. I'll see you
Thanks,
guys
Mark.
later. You got it.
Ready to go? Let's do
All
it.
right.
While Russ kept working, Ryan gave me a quick tour of the studio. I was familiar with the layout and plans, but to finally see the renovation with my own eyes was, well, eye-opening. Mark's made it very clear from the start that he expects this space to be finished on time. That means the new office spaces and edit suites will need to be ready for the entire production team to work out of. And the gutted lobby and green room will both need to be ready for clients in just a few short weeks. We were already behind schedule since there was one major setback that had been holding everything up.
We were waiting for the HVAC system so the rest of this renovation could keep rolling along.
For us to really move forward, we got to get those in as soon as possible.
So once the new units arrived, the rest of the plans were in motion.
So today's an exciting day because we're setting the AC units on top of the roof.
While the HVAC installation was underway, there was a slight, make that huge disruption to the studio.
Frankly, I just don't think it's safe for people to be here.
You're probably wondering who this guy is. He's our new CCO, but we'll get to him later.
You know, just in case, God forbid, that thing fell to the left and went through the room with
Well, I don't know. Once they set this curve, then you're done over here.
The old AC units had to be shut down and removed, and since this is steamy South Florida, no AC plus tropical heat equals one hot mess. Plus, the massive holes and exposed ceilings made it seem like the sky was falling, creating an extremely unpleasant work environment.
Hey, can you release media 13, please? I need to finish this edit. You got it. Thank you.
Well, the units are in, and today I'm meeting with the general manager of Johnson Controls, Don Albinger, to get the down low up high. Welcome, Don.
Hi, Carrie.
Thanks for meeting me on the roof.
Great, thank you.
I hope you're not afraid of heights.
I'm not. We're
Okay,
good.
good. The reason I wanted you to meet me up here is because we just installed our HVAC units. I wanted you to check those out, but I wanted you to tell me more about what these were going to do for everyone inside.
You bet.
Okay.
So, Carrie, what we have here today is our York rooftop units. And this is one of 5 different units that are providing the air conditioning for the space below us. Really, what's inside this unit are modern controls. But those controls then around all these different units are interconnected. And we can get data to be shared across all the different units through what's called a little smart building hub. But that smart building hub allows us to connect all the information via our cell phones. That whole system is called Verisys.
I definitely want to talk more about this, but Don, it's a little loud out here. So let's go inside and talk some more.
Great idea. Let's go.
Let's
Thanks.
go.
Coming up next on Office Spaces, Don shows me how to control this entire building, all with a touch of a button.
Don, thank you so much for coming into the studio. Obviously, this is a little better for us to have a conversation than up on the roof.
Yeah, and we made it down safely.
We did, yes we did. And I'm very excited to talk about Verisys and its benefits and how it addresses problems for business owners and managers.
A couple of things. Number one is that in an environment like this or other commercial buildings like this, owners are really interested in the productivity of their people inside of these buildings, right?
Of course, yeah.
So you have to always maintain the right kind of comfort so that people are productive. Number two is energy. right? Having wild temperature swings and differences over air conditioning a space, right, is just a big energy waster, right? And so when you connect the equipment in this Verisys technology that we have with this advanced control kinds of technologies that we have inside of each air conditioner, you can really maintain the operational points to an exactness that a lot of technologies couldn't before. And number 3 is reliability. The best air conditioning system that really exists today is one you don't even know that's operating.
Exactly.
It's there, it's here, right?
Yeah.
So, owners are really concerned about, callbacks or service calls that are unnecessary because the equipment is just not operating to specification or the control system is not working properly, especially in an environment like this. In the studio, the lights are on, the electronic equipment in the editing room is buzzing away, right?
Yeah.
And all that heat gain provides lots of challenges from an HVAC system perspective. And that is really the benefit of where Verisys comes in, because that system is interconnected, right? And it can communicate to each other to make sure that this building here is always balanced, producing comfort and productivity for the workers.
So important. What makes Verisys truly unique in the marketplace?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Number 1 is that the modern technology installed in those rooftops as well as in our smart building hub is all plug and play. There's no programming.
Really?
Right, so all those units get plugged together, get put into this centralized little hub, right, and it all communicates without any programming. And the third point here in making it unique is that all those air conditioners up on the roof all have something that's called fault detection and diagnostics. If for some case in years to come that a system is starting to maybe fail,
Okay.
right, and so that the owner and or a contractor knows exactly what to do before the system actually starts failing and you have a catastrophic event.
Being able to do it ahead of time can really save a lot of money and a lot of problems and a lot of costs. Sure.
Imagine the studio with us here and all the lights and the equipment and the people here. The air conditioner just gave out, and we had instead of a 72-degree environment, an 80-degree environment in just matters of minutes. If there is a pending problem that may be approaching this particular building, they can see it live. They can see it all accumulated across all the different pieces of equipment, and they can get here to fix it fast before it becomes a real problem.
Absolutely. Response time is so important in a big environment.
Technologies like fault detection and diagnostics enable then that information through the Smart Building Hub to get right to your phone, right? So as you can see conditions of the unit, not only before they happen, but also then allows maybe a service contractor to put the right parts on the truck the first time.
I love that. So it's saving time, saving money, making sure you're preemptively taking care of
Right.
problems before they happen.
Exactly.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's the value of all this, right?
Absolutely.
That's the value. In fact, what we have, I can show you the Smart Building Hub in action. So Carrie, here's Mark's office, right? And there we go. And there are the conditions that he has. So you can see that the supply temperature is 60 degrees there, and here's what's called the circle of comfort, for Mark's office and all that, right? We can go back and take a look at, the rooftop unit up here, and all the different things that are working inside that unit, right? I could adjust the temperatures up and down all from this device. I could show you any fault detection types of things that the units are experiencing right now, which there are none. This is a construction environment. Conditions of the equipment and the space that you're involved in here right now, that we're in here as well, and showing that everything is operating properly.
So basically you're going to avoid the issue of having one room that's really, really cold and then another room that's really, really hot, and you can adjust those based on what that area needs. Because
Correct.
obviously if we're in the studio, it gets really hot from all
Right.
the lights. I have never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it.
It's great technology.
Coming up next on Office Spaces, we're shining some serious light and setting the mood.
Oh, hi. Thanks, Gina. Have you ever noticed how the right lighting can brighten your mood? We all know the answer is yes, but there's so much more involved. Today, I'm meeting with a company that understands this better than anyone else.
This is Bob and Gabrielle from Lumen Optics. They came by today to see our new studio. I'm introducing them to Ryan, who has just finished putting up the last of their LED loose panels in the modular office area.
So this is our creative space and offices for our producers and our writers. So a lot of magic's going to happen here. And actually, here's Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, how are you?
I want you to meet Gabrielle and Bob from Lumen Optics.
Hey, Bob. Hi, Ryan. Gabrielle.
Hi,
nice to
nice
meet
to
you.
see you.
I was just adjusting the lights. Our electricians have came in and wired them all up, making sure they're nice and level and plumb and in a straight line.
For a modern work environment, the Luz is a perfect product to work under. With the color temperature that we chose, which is 4,000 Kelvin, it's more like a daylight environment and works really well with the way people work in offices today.
Well, and I think there's going to be about 50 employees in here, actually. So it's going to be a very busy space, and I think that the aesthetics are really important.
So I do have some of the 2x2 lay-ins installed in one of the offices if you want to have a look at one of them.
Absolutely.
One of the big challenges with the old edit bays was they had the traditional 2x4 fluorescent lay-ins, and the glare was really bad, and they're working in computers, so consequently they shut their lights off. So the glare doesn't bother them, but in a short while, now you're staring at a bright computer screen in a dark room, and their eyes start hurting.
I think for editors who will be spending long hours in this area, that lack of glare is going to be key for them to
It's
do
going
their
to
job.
be huge. They're going to be so happy.
Definitely.
2x2 is really our most popular in the Luz panel luminaires, and the recessed grid is actually the most popular type of installation, so it's very easy for really any office to use.
We left Ryan to finish straightening up and headed to the studio to learn more about Lumen Optics.
Well, Gabrielle and Bob, thank you so much for joining me in the studio. Tell me a little bit more about your company.
We really try to execute on designing purpose-built fixtures to solve specific problems. Fixtures are highly engineered with unique optical and electrical properties that make them some of the best in the industry.
Can you tell me more about the lighting design process in general?
We typically start with schematic or layout, mechanical layout of the facility, and then we model those spaces in software, determine which of our fixtures would best be suitable for those spaces to get the most even lighting scheme that we can get.
It all comes down to the products, right? So I want to take a closer look at some of your products.
Yes,
Great.
let's
Okay,
do it.
let's head on over. Okay, so let's dive right in. You've got a couple of your really awesome products here.
These types of panels have been around, believe it or not, for a long time. They used to be fluorescent based. These panels are less than 1/2 of an inch thick. They have strips of LEDs along two edges, and the LEDs fire the light into a waveguide this way that then shoots it back out the surface and illuminates the whole panel.
Wow, and then how does it move from, say, here to here? So you've done different sizes, but it's still the same product through and through, right?
It's still the same product. This is a great example of how we can customize our products. The 1x4 is a cooler size. We have the matte black. It gives kind of a more industrial look and techie feel.
How many color choices do people have? I mean, will you just create that color?
As long as they can specify, something like a Pantone color or something, we can go out and match that to the frame.
We have sitting over here something called the LRD. Can you explain to me a little bit more about that?
What it is if you had an old traditional downlight or can light, and it might have been compact fluorescent or metal halide, you can actually just take the lamp out and kind of just quickly take the guts out of that fixture. This fits right inside there, and you can do all of that in 5 minutes.
Why has it been such a big hit with contractors?
We understand contractors, we understand what they do, we understand how they work. We really try with the LRD and all of our other lines to make them extremely easy to install. Time is money.
While the front half of the building is still being renovated, I just had to get their thoughts on what type of lighting they'd add to our lobby to really make it pop.
When our clients come through the front doors, we want to make a really big impression. So what we've done is we pulled garden on the wall is basically a garden on the wall. It's real big. We got a lot of shiplap with different wood tones. We really wanted to bring you into this space to really highlight the features that we got in here.
With accent lighting, we could do a wall wash on the garden that creates shadow and interest. We could have spots that highlight certain elements. There's a lot we can do here and have a lot of fun.
Great, I'm excited.
While we're on the subject of good lighting, we're going to bring the outside in and go straight to the source.
Most businesses encourage better posture and movements to help keep their employees healthy, but there's another type of ergonomics that many companies are still ignoring. It's called light ergonomics, and it might not seem like a big deal. Light's light, right? But lighting your workspace the wrong way is a really dim idea. If you've ever worked in an office with bad lighting, you know that noisy fluorescence and odd colors can cause a slew of issues. Poor lighting can negatively affect your work in many ways by increasing your error rate, causing eye strain and headaches, reducing your mental alertness, and just seriously beating down employee morale. Every room in a business has a different use, of course, so the lighting in each of those rooms should be tailored to fit the activity in it. In a production studio, a specific type of lighting is needed for the studio set, another type for the makeup room, and even a specific type for the editing suites. At Brandstar, they encourage positive light ergonomics by way of skylights. They're installed throughout the entire studio, bringing in natural light and showcasing the big blue sky. They also use the best and brightest in LED technology, which is designed with everyone's comfort in mind. So, find the right type of light for your workspace and make the bright choice.
Welcome back. Before the break, we shed a lot of light on, well, LED lighting. But to continue stepping up our green game, we needed to think about how to get natural light into the building too. The answer was right under our nose, or rather, right above it. We would harvest the sun by putting in Maxim skylights that can withstand pretty much anything. Ryan took David Thornton, the owner of Maxim Skylights, and Alan Zwickel, his local Maxim sales rep, up to the roof to check on how the install was coming along.
All right, guys, so one of the things that I was really impressed with was how fast and easy these things went in. You know, when they were talking about cutting out the roof and all that, I thought it was going to be a week-long process.
In this particular roof, what they're doing is pushing back all the gravel, cutting out the membrane that's beneath it, allowing for direct fastener access to the beams underneath. So these skylights are fastened through this fastening flange all the way on the roof directly to the structure. Then it's dried back in just like they would do the rest of this roof. And then they are using, in this instance, granular membrane, and they push the rocks back on top of it. And that's dried in. This is it.
When they arrived, I looked at them and they weren't very heavy, and you know, the plastic, it's got a little give to it. So I was worried, you know, what would happen if I were to fall over? But it's amazing what these things can withstand.
We're going to show you what these things can really do in extreme conditions.
So these are the samples that we're going to play with, but I noticed that they're a different color and the plastic looks different.
This is an example of transparent. It's a bronze tint. It's the same polycarbonate, so it's virtually unbreakable, just a different color.
We're going to test that theory. Hey, Russ.
Yeah, Ryan.
Hey, man, go get some stuff to drop on these.
Brought a few things.
Holy. We got a small sledge. Wow. What? That went all the way to the ground and just sprung right back up. I gotta do that again.
Do it again.
I want to do it again. That's amazing.
Brought a bundle of bricks.
All right, Russ, let's see what you can do.
Clear.
Break it like you mean it. Well, I got a refrigerator I can drop on it.
Fine with me.
Do it. Do it.
You took the pot roast out of there? Fire when ready.
Oh, that's great. Wow, check this out, guys. It took a direct hit with the corner.
Right in the fastener.
I see there, I mean, it looks bad, but there's a tiny, small puncture in the top. But
look at that. Ready for the install.
No penetrations on the outside.
These skylights are not only strong, they're green, and the light's good for you too.
Studies have shown that natural light is going to help an employee be more productive. It's going to help their mood. It's even going to help their circadian rhythm. And if you can have happy employees, you're going to have productive employees.
Coming up, design changes and setbacks threaten our already delayed timeline.
Time is ticking, and the original timeline I've been working with is already delayed because of the HVAC and skylights holdup. So what else could go wrong? Well, a lot. Before our weekly construction meeting, Ryan and Russ opened up a wall and a whole can of worms.
The question is this wall a framed wall that's actually using as a support wall?
Here, you would be better ripping it all out down to the bare bones and going from scratch.
That's going to get costly from an expense standpoint of view, and materials and labor. but it's also going to get very costly from meeting our timeline.
Remember this guy from earlier? This is Jason Gagnon. He's a key player in all the creative that comes out of Brandstar. Plus, he has years of experience working with some of the world's most well-known brands at the top agencies in the country. So he knows how to take the client experience to the next level. Rather than view Ryan's news as a setback, our new CCO, that's Chief Content Officer, saw this as an opportunity to revamp the existing plans.
Carrie,
Hey, what's up?
how are you?
Jason?
Heard you had some questions about my design.
Yes, I actually did.
Got a second to walk through it?
Absolutely, let's do
Awesome.
Moving the green room, the edit bays, and the audio suites doesn't seem like a big deal, but since I already placed all the orders for materials, these aesthetic change-ups could mean the complete collapse of my already delayed timeline. Pulling this off is going to require some stealthy switch-ups. One thing that hasn't been affected by the design changes is the lobby flooring. I need a break from the construction madness, so I'm heading over to Bedrosian's Tile and Stone to check in on our tile order.
Hi, I'm here at Bedrosian's Tile and Stone. Almost 70 years in business, and Eddie, tell me more about Bedrosian's.
So my grandpa and grandma started it in 1948 out of their garage, and my grandpa was a tile installer, so he started selling it, and then that's when the company started growing and my aunts and uncles started getting involved.
Yeah.
And now I'm involved with a couple of my cousins, and we're third generation. We have around 50 locations now. We're opening 10 next year.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what you offer?
We have over 5,000 products ranging from ceramic, porcelain, glass, stone, and granite slabs.
So Eddie, let's talk tile. We've been using it for centuries, but what makes Bedrosian's unique? What do you offer maybe that anyone else doesn't?
We have our own design team that actually goes out and designs our own lines and looks at the design trends around the world.
Okay.
And comes up with our own colors, and we work with the different manufacturers that can produce a tile for us. And then we bring all those back, and then we come up with our new lines.
Eddie, actually that you're mentioning trends, I want to talk about wood grain tile. That's something that's been just huge. Everyone's talking about it. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so we have this new line called Titus.
Yes.
And what's really nice about this line is it looks real, but it doesn't have the maintenance of a real wood tile. Because with real wood tile, you're gonna, if you have dogs, you're gonna scratch it. Your kids running around, they spill things on it. There's wear and tear,
sure.
Scuff marks from the shoes. But with the Titus as a porcelain tile, you don't have that.
Eddie, why do you think wood grain tile has become so popular?
Tile used to be very boring and cold. But now with this new inkjet technology, it's they print right on top of the tile. It's very pixel perfect.
So that also leads back to how you can create so many different designs, so you can do different grains and different colors, right?
Yeah, and you can have raised edges on it, so it kind of feels like actual real wood.
Wow, that's awesome. So really, people are able to get that wood feel, the real wood feel,
Yep.
but again, that durability and that lastability.
At a very affordable price too.
So when it comes to installing porcelain tile, what is it you suggest? I mean, is this something you do yourself, or should we be calling a professional?
It's always recommended to have a professional. You really don't know, if you're not a professional, how to lay it, or if you need to put waterproofing or float the floor.
So I heard we're going to be checking out the slab yard.
Yeah, it's really cool because what's different about slab yard is everything is very unique.
Okay.
Like, you're not going to find that one piece anywhere else in the world.
And where do you acquire all of your different stones there?
We purchase from over 30 different countries around the world, but the majority of them come from Brazil. Now we also get a lot of our whites from Italy, a lot of the Calcuttas and Statuarios and White Carreras.
Just the names sound inviting to me.
Yeah.
The lobby and the rest of the studio is really coming along. The porcelain tile's been laid, the lighting is in, and it's 72 and sunny inside the studio. At this pace, who knows? Maybe I'll actually meet my deadline and not be standing in the unemployment line. That does it for this episode of Office Spaces. Thanks for joining us. At the car wash.
Do it for real.
While they're doing that?
I'll be like,
Oh, that's what it is.
Makeover and design. We have sirens, so I should probably stop.
Probably stop.